my journey to this. He
He
starts
brought
making
you back to the Blessed Sacrament.
yeah, but he does it like through this rah-rah cowboy talk. You know, I feel like I'm listening to like Meek and Weak.
Yeah.
Like meek
Oh, yeah.
and weak are two different things.
No, right.
And let me explain the difference to you between being meek and being weak. Meek
Yeah,
is to
what
be
was it?
treasured. Meek is to be valued. Meek is a submissive respect.
Mm-hmm.
Weak is having no faith. And he starts explaining stuff like that to me where, you know, meek in my head from a kid who never had a puberty ceremony. I mean, you know, Judaism and you're 13 and they put you on a chair and you get a driver's license, but it's not like I wander off into the woods and come back with a lion's head. You know, there's no puberty ceremony for a young man today.
You know, that's a problem in our culture.
Yes.
We've forgotten how to do that.
And you don't really know what it is to be a man, you know? And James starts talking about mountains. You know, this is where Seven Story Mountain comes about, but we were in a conversation about a mountain, about what in nature is masculine. And I'm like, and he says mountain, and he says, do you know why? He goes, because it's immovable. You know, the wind is not gonna move a mountain. And then we start talking about my wife and what my wife wants in a man. And being stable and where that stability comes from for a man, and that it's not going to be something you will. It's going to be something you lean on. And that mountain is in that chapel. This is like my journey to this. He starts
He brought
making
you back to the Blessed Sacrament.
yeah, but he does it like through this rah-rah cowboy talk. You know, I feel like I'm listening to like I don't know what to describe it as, but it feels like John Wayne. It's like this rah-rah kind of thing that touched on it touched on this thing that I came from, and it accounted for this whole side of this Christ that I didn't know yet. And he sort of like masculinized the whole thing for me as this warrior's journey. And he starts reading like Heraclitus to me. I don't know anything about Heraclitus, but he's like, there's this quote I want to read to you. And he goes, you know, Heraclitus talks about what a warrior is. He says, and I'm paraphrasing, but he says, you know, out of 100 men, 80 are just targets. 10 are fighters because they 10 are fighters because they make for the battle and we're grateful for them. But the one is a warrior and he will bring the others back. And you know, I'm starting to have like emotional experiences with this guy in this, you know, with these cats running around, we're eating ice cream, and I'm having like emotional experiences with him explaining Heraclitus and like this thing that